Wow, everybody.
Well, we lit, man.
That old miss.
Hey, man.
Hey, what? What up?
Whew. So I'm smoking. I'm gonna get right to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm smoking a mystery cigar. Mystery cigar.
Yeah.
This Drew Estate FSL Mystery Deadwood. So this came out the kit that I bought last week. Reviewed it on the on the show. Came with 3 cigars with the package. And you did mention that you passed on it because you didn't want anything sweet.
Yeah.
And I went for it. And I was down for the Drew Estate experience. Drew Estate, they never steer you wrong. Usually.
Right.
Usually. 9 times out of 10. I'll say that. So yeah, it had a mystery Deadwood in there. This FSL. So it hasn't rolled out yet. This is an exclusive. Before the release of this new Deadwood. And for all those who know, Deadwood is Drew Estate's flavored cigars, sweet flavored cigars. Sweet Jane, Crazy Alice, Girl with No Name.
Well, it's a collaboration. Deadwood is a company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they are all the sweet ones, though.
Mm-hmm. And this has to by far be the sweetest of them all. This tastes like candy. I'm eating a pack of candy right now. So remember your Isla de Sol that you had?
Yes, I do. And you co-signed being excited about my response to that. Yes, I remember that episode.
I was like, go for it. Let me know how you feel.
Episode 73. I'll never forget. Yeah, I remember it.
This thing is candy. Talking about sugary. I feel like I'm having diabetes right now. I'm just diabetes is onsetting just off of smoking this right now. Few puffs in. I'm hoping as I smoke it, some of that flavor will dissipate.
Is that more than the Isla?
More. A lot sweeter than Isla, in my opinion. I've had all the Deadwoods. I've had all the Javas. I haven't had a lot of the acids. Don't really go down that line. We had the CAO, the flavor CAOs.
Yeah.
And Isla so far to me was the sweetest of them all. But this by far is the sweetest of them all.
Do you think some of the ladies will like this one?
Oh, they'll love it. They'll love it. For those ladies who aren't, big on the traditional cigar, or sometimes they'll swing over to the flavor and they'll live there for a while. I know a few of those. Like they'll get down with the regular cigars, but every now and then, or for the most part, they like to live in that realm of flavors sticks.
Yeah,
they will absolutely love this. They had this with a nice little drink to kind of counteract it or whatever, or complement it. This is going to be something that they will probably love to smoke.
Yeah. Man, I'm so happy that you got that cigar, man.
You happy with me and not you? Rather
so
you
happy it was rather you than me, man. Look, it's even getting brighter in the room, man. Oh, I'm up, baby. Shoot.
Man, I actually want to switch my drink now. I got this the strawberry Cayman Jack going on with the in my salad to go cup, by the way. This is a salad to go cup. And this is Cayman Jack in here.
Yeah, man. You gonna have to go eat some salt after this. You have to do something.
Yeah. I gotta dial this back. This is way too much.
Yeah, man. You're a good one, man. You're a good one. Hey, man.
Hey. So before I go on to something I want to talk about with these cigars, I do want to feature some cigars real quick. What you got? What are you smoking?
I am smoking this week Diesel Whiskey Row Founders Collection. And this word is the Mizunara. Yeah, Mizunara. The collection, the Mizunara collection. Yeah. Let's see it, man. While we at it, let's get the specs up, man. The specs.
Specs.
Do I have it? Do I have the specs? Do I have the specs? Brazilian rapper. That's all I know. I don't know nothing. Yeah, no specs.
What's going on today with these six? All right, what we got? What up?
But I'll say this: had this little interesting little band here on the bottom of the about a foot of it with a stick. It was pretty cool. I like the look of it. That's how I ended up. It was eye catchy. Had a rabbit jumping into a hole. I don't know what that's about. I gotta be careful. Oh, it's called rabbit hole on the side. Okay, well, yeah, there you go. Anyway, so far, man, this thing right here, it felt like I just went to the forest, found an oak tree, and said on the side of it.
Straight oak tree.
Straight hit me with a lot of oak right off the bat and some pepper in the mix, but it felt like it could have been that initial cigar pepper that you can get on a lot of sticks. Mm-hmm. So we'll see where this goes, you know what I'm saying? But I hadn't had a lot of oak on a stick in a while, so I was open to it. It was interesting. Perked me up, got me going a little bit in the beginning. So
okay. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes cigars play that good purpose. You know how you got that? You got to have your cup of Joe in the morning and get your coffee jitters going. Sometimes a cigar serves that purpose. You got that cigar in the morning. That's how I should live my life, honestly. Spark a cigar in the morning and get my day started.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. No, I don't.
Oh.
Do you?
Yeah.
You have that luxury.
I thought we all do that every morning. Yeah, man. You know, I get my cup of Joe going. Spark a cigar, and I just, think about my day and how I want it to go, man. I just see my day working out, man. What I want
must
to do.
Be nice. You know what? And that is something that is dope. Like, so, a couple weeks ago, I told you I was on a bit of a vacation of sorts. I took like 2 weeks off of work with no plans, absolutely no plans.
All right.
And it was the most beautiful thing in the world. I called it myself test driving retirement, even though I got 9 more years in the military to go before I can retire. So I'm at that retirement age for military age people. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to see what it felt like to be able to get up, because I hear a lot of things about people who they get up and they try to figure out what to do, and they feel like they got to go back to work or go have some kind of sense of responsibility or the need to be around people. I don't need none of that. I don't need none of that. I'm like, yo,
get that.
That's
why I'm retired. Yeah. I'm retiring from y'all too.
I would be fine. I don't think I would have that need to be active in that sense. Find my own way to be active. And that's a part of it. To be able to get up, have your cup of Joe, spark your cigar, think about your day. I had a little bit of that. I got a little taste of it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
but I am envious. I don't get that on a day-to-day basis, man. I can't wait.
Just wake up earlier. Wake up earlier from when your actual wake up time. Stop trying to get extra sleep. See, this is what it is. You stay up late and then wake up early. So that's where you don't have that sacrifice time. I do. At least give yourself 30 minutes to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know, man, but
fit that into your.
See, and that's kind of the problem, I guess, in the sense with thinking about time, is I think about time way too much, and I want to maximize as much time as I possibly can. So I do wake up early and I do stay up late. Like, as soon as I get off of work, I start calculating how much time I got in the rest of my day before I have to go to sleep and wake up in the morning. Like, I'm already thinking about how many hours of sleep I'm planning on getting, which is usually 4 or 5. And I'm thinking about from the moment I get out of work and I get on the highway and start driving home, how long is it going to take me to get home? And then once I get home, I got to get my exercise in. How much time after I exercise, how much time I'm going to have left for this or that or the third? Like, I would love to be able to go to bed early and wake up even earlier, but I feel like I have to maximize every hour of my day that I am awake.
Hey, look, man, I take this whole thing that you're saying is disrespect. Adding 30 minutes for a cigar and a cup of Joe to start your day is not maximizing your day? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
I feel like that's all I heard. Did you say something different? Or did I mistranslate it?
Nah, okay. Well, I kind
Clean it
of
up.
just went on for like a little caveat to understand like how I structure my day. Like to ask me to shift anything, it's like, man. But at the same time, you make a good point. Is what I'm saying. Like as far as like shifting my day and then also maximizing my time, like that is a good way to maximize my time. As a cigar aficionado, I take that as blasphemy to think that you would think I would say that.
I took it as blasphemy when it was said. You know what I'm saying? But check it out. Okay, so like this is how I look at it, right? Some people start their day through meditation. Some people start their day through prayer. Some people start their day through visualizing, whatever it is that you start your day through. You know, I just feel like at some point in the beginning of my morning, I got to sit there in silence, have my little coffee. You know, I'm not going to say every day it's a cigar involved, but a lot of days, you know, I try to involve a cigar and I just sit there at peace with myself. I give myself, 20, 30 minutes and I just, let's just think, you know what I'm saying? Let's relax. Let's accept the thoughts that come in. Let's think about what needs to be done. Let's, just plan my day out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just see my day, how it's going to go. And then I go do my responsibilities afterwards, but I try to make the time for that. That's I've created that as a new routine for myself.
That's dope. I know I don't do that. I don't.
What's your morning routine? Just jump up and go straight to scrambling?
That's it.
Yeah, man, you gotta have a moment in the day where you get your mind right. Everybody deserves it.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. You should. But like as soon as I'm up, I turn on my GPS to see how much time it's gonna take me to get to work, and I start counting down the minutes until I gotta leave. It's go time. That's it. That's my morning routine. So I usually take my time towards the end of the day to kind of like reflect on the day more so than prep my day for the day ahead. I'll look at the end of the day. I'll get to the end of my day, and then I'll sit with my thoughts more so than at the beginning of my day. As soon as my alarm goes off, I'll lay in bed, inhale, exhale, feet hit the floor, and I'm gone. That's it. I'm running.
Okay, I've been exactly where you are, and it's funny because as I now plan my day mentally, you know what I'm saying? I find myself reflecting on my day a whole lot less. But before, when I was never planning and seeing my day, I found myself fully reflecting on it with my eyes closed, reflecting on every step of the day or what happened earlier that day. And I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So do you feel like,
I don't know why that is.
Do you feel like you have more ability to structure your day? Because for me, not saying there's no need to plan my day, but depending on how your work structure is or work life, like I feel like my day is planned for me. It's like as soon as you get up, you got to get to work. It's either PT in the morning, workout in the morning, or get straight to the classroom or start training my soldiers and stuff like that, right? So it's like my day is planned for me like before the sun comes up. So I know what my 6 o'clock in the morning to my about almost 7 o'clock at night is going to be. I have no say in that. So it's like, what's the point? Not saying what's the point for planning my day, because I still have to have some kind of structure in how I approach my day. But it's like my day is already planned for me. As soon as I wake up, the next 12 to 13 hours are already planned. I'm already being dictated on what I'm going to be doing. But it's how I approach it, maybe. But I have very, very little leeway as far as I guess detouring from the schedule that's ahead. It's like this is what it is. You get your schedule weeks out. This is what the task for the day is, and you get up and get to it.
Okay, so that is an interesting point. I would say for me, my schedule is mostly loose with a few firm points within the day that happen at certain times. You know what I mean?
You got to make sure you get this. You got to make sure you get that. But then you have some gaps in between.
Yeah, then I have a lot of gaps in between of how I can, handle what I need to handle at my own leisurely. But a lot of what I do is not based on. It's not based on the times or nothing like that. It's not based on that. it's a lot of me seeing my day is just based on, I don't know, it maybe just be more of a spiritual approach, more so than about organization and structure. So more so than about that, it's more so about what's my mentality going to be throughout getting these things.
Okay, I get that. I see that. I see that.
Yeah. So this needs to be done today. And, you just, I have my bullet points, and then I just kind of see me going through the motions of getting these things done. And I think that mindset allows me to approach it more positively versus having a dread of getting stuff done, because it's very easy to slide into dreading doing something. I just see me getting it done as I think about me.
Okay.
That plants the seed in my mind where I'm not dreading doing it. I saw me doing it and it being easy and me knocking it down and accomplishing.
And I think I have that same approach, but it's usually, like I said, like the day before, like, especially, so for those who don't know what I do, I'm an instructor, right? So I go and I instruct a bunch of people who come in, who are coming into the military, and they're trying to learn how to do a job in the military. So I'll sit down the day before, I'll look at my lesson plans and things I need to teach and whatever the training for the next day is going to be. So I'll sit there the night before and I'll settle that in my mind. So, and I'll visualize it that night. So when I wake up in the morning, it's already implanted there. And all I got to do is just act on it now.
Right.
So it's so similar approach, but it's just the way we, I guess.
Yours is to the back end, mine's to the day of, and yours is the day before, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess I'm playing it out, because I do play it out. Like I have to see it before I do it, and I'll see it mentally, and I'll play things out, scenarios, even different scenarios that could probably pop up while I'm going through whatever the task is for the day, right?
Right.
Like, okay, if this happens, this is what I could do. If this happens, this is what I could do. Okay, but this is what I plan to do. But if something steers me off course, then this is what I'll do. Like I'll have like premeditated contingency plans, I guess. So
it's funny. I never. I'm kind of new to the whole seeing myself doing stuff. Like that's nothing I always did. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. I've had stages of life where I've done it, and I had a lot of stages where I didn't. And what got me back into doing it more recently is I realized that the stages that I was doing it, I felt like I was accomplishing more, and I felt like I was more positive about while doing it. And now that I'm back to doing it, I'm having more wins doing it. You know what I mean? I'm feeling more positive about the stuff I got to do going into it versus feeling like this is a task or a hassle to have to do this. I don't go into it because I've already seen myself handle it in my head. You know what I'm saying? So now I go into it with the mentality, this can be handled versus, oh God, I got to go do this. What to expect? I already kind of played out in my head.
So for me, it settles the anxiety. It settles the anxiety for me because it's almost like a rehearsal in a sense. It's a mental rehearsal. And if you rehearse something enough, it's kind of like these things become muscle memory. And then once it's muscle memory, all you're doing is you're just going back to those same motions that you've already done before. This is just, okay, it becomes routine. Only thing is now it's outside of your head. It's actually, in real time going through it now. But I've already seen myself do it. Now I just got to do it the way I played it in my head. And then also rely on those contingencies that I've also put in my head, because things aren't going to go picture perfect the way you pictured it. But if you think about those contingencies, even if those contingencies don't match exactly to the detour or whatever, the thing that took it off course, you have some kind of understanding of, okay, it's close to this, so maybe I just might need to make this small audible and make this change and shift and adjust. But I'm definitely with you, man.
I don't play the contingencies out as much as I used to, like the option A, option B, C. I need to kill all the anxiety. Yeah, I got to kill all the anxiety. I don't do it no more, and I don't find it being a problem either. Though it doesn't affect me anymore.
Really?
I used to in the past. I would, like you say, A, B, C, D. I'm prepared for everything. Now, I go into it with the expectation I want it to happen this way. And if it doesn't play out that way, I don't really stress it. I'm kind of at a point where I trust things are going to work out. Yeah. It's a lot of faith.
I'm opposite. Like, I feel like the older I'm getting, the more I'm expecting something to not play out and not work out. It's like I've seen too many things go wrong, so I'm expecting something to go wrong. So something's got to happen that's not going to go according to plan. So it was like I got to have these contingencies. Before, when I was younger, I wouldn't prepare for these contingencies because I didn't see all the possibilities of all the things going wrong just yet. I didn't have all the data and details of life like I do now. So it's like, okay, yeah, this is probably what's going to happen, or this could probably possibly happen. So guess what? I need to have contingency A, B, C, and D.
I get that because I'm not saying I'm naive about it. I understand that things can and will probably play out different than you expect in a lot of instances. But I think what I also, instead of me leaning on the fact that things may not play out the way I expect, I just lean on the fact that throughout all that, it always works out. Mm-hmm. And
what's that law?
I go to the end, and the end is
it's going to work out.
It'll work out. Yeah, regardless
what's
of
that one law they say whatever could go wrong will go wrong or whatever.
Yeah. And I look at it from, I try not to think of it that way. I know the law you're talking about. I try to look at it the exact opposite. Hey, man, whatever can go right, will go right.
Will go right.
Like, okay. But that law, I know that it's funny. I wish I could name that law because that law is actually how I got that mentality. Mm-hmm. Hearing people talk about that law. And I'm like, man, I don't want to have that mentality. Like, whatever could go right, will go right.
Will go right.
And I just try to approach it like that. Like, it's 50-50. Either you can get look, man, this is what life is, man. There are more favorable scenarios and less favorable scenarios. There ain't no right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's all a human ideology. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's favorable and less, it's just favorable and less favorable. There's circumstances you would prefer to happen, and there's circumstances you would prefer not to happen. They're not good or bad. You can gain something from either scenario and just gain it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And then also the truth of the matter is, if we like to think about it honestly, even in our bad times of life, out of the amount of days that you live, majority of us have probably had more better days than bad days.
Yeah.
Most of us have probably had more good days than bad days. More good times than bad times. Yeah. It's just so bad times that they're so loud and so colorful and so prominent that we like to harp on those bad times, and we get scarred by those bad times. Like I mentioned, like, hey, I'm thinking whatever could go wrong will go wrong. But what about all the times things went right? I don't necessarily think about all those or put that in the forefront of my mind. But hey, but so many things have gone right throughout life. Think about those things more so than you think about the things that went wrong. Yes, still consider things that went wrong because it only takes one bad situation to ruin everything. So yes, the bad can be really colorful, really loud, and really prominent because one bad situation can ruin a total life, right? I can drive down the highway 100 times, but 101, I make the bad decision, smack and boom, right? But then at the same time, I got to also trust the fact that, hey, I've done this 100 times. I've been on point for the most part 100 times. So look at how many times things went right.
There you go. And I try to remember that, man. And another thing, man, a lot of times I've also realized this, which is it's hard to realize this, but if you really think on a lot of your bad situations, some good happens at the end. They talk about the rainbow at the end of the storm. It's always, life is always showing me a rainbow at the end of all the storms. Right now, man, in my personal life at this moment, my front door was broke. My car broke down, and I got an appointment for that on next week to go get that taken care of. Yeah, and what else was it? One other thing, like 3 things, all just broke at the same time.
Always in threes.
It was in threes. Three of them broke. So I just got 2 out of 3 taken care of, and now I got to get my car on that day. But hey, man, I just struck a nice deal on Friday. You know what I'm saying? And that was the very last thing that came, man. I had 3 bad ones last week, all boom, boom, boom. I said, oh, my God. Oh my God.
Here
Something
you
good is
go.
about to happen. I immediately started thinking that though. I said something good is about to happen because too much just went bad all at one time. And I got some fantastic news on Friday. You know what I'm saying? That if all goes according to plan, it squashes everything that bad happened. So, like, hey, man, what could go right will go right. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
the rest of it,
And I
let go.
guess and the good part of that is if you get hung up on the bad that's just happening, you might miss that good thing.
Yeah, you don't appreciate
you could possibly put yourself in a situation where you miss it.
Yeah.
You know, or don't put yourself in a position to receive that one big good thing that could be right around the corner.
Key. That's the biggest key. Because if I would have stopped, if I'd have just went into a depression and stopped doing what I was doing, you know, I don't know that the circumstances would align for it to work out for me. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
Sometimes you got to keep pushing, stay positive, keep pushing, man.
Instead of mentality is important, man. Mentality is important.
Bro.
I'm big on beefing up your mentality in a certain way that's going to push you to positive results. You know, positivity can find you, but positive things and positive results don't happen by accident still at the same time.
Yeah.
And they don't happen by accident. You know, everything is not an accidental success, you know, or a positive return. You have to position yourself. You have to be in a posture where you can receive those positive things or do the necessary things that you need to do in order to receive those things that are a positive nature.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think that's the biggest challenge for a lot of people is winning that mental battle, man. Because it's a lot of things that will force you to lose it.
Man, hey, we had a big mental war, and this actually pushed me to a point that's something I wanted to talk about. What was it, last week? Or actually, no, I meant to mention this to you during the week. So I was thinking about something, and first of all, I said this one cool thing to my guys about life and about things in life. And I'm changing my thought process of what I used to say. I used to say that life is hard, whether you are successful or whether you end up in the dumps, right? There's two different hards. You have to choose your hard.
Right.
I don't think that way anymore. I literally just switched the way I think. So my thought process is things are challenging in life. Now you can make now you can make those things easy or you can make them hard. So everything is always going to be a challenge. So I'm stopping myself from using the term hard for things.
Yeah.
But a challenge. It can be difficult. It can be challenging. But it can be easy or it can be hard.
Right.
Based on how you approach it. Right? So it doesn't take the challenge away. It doesn't take the difficulty away. Like that difficulty level of whatever it is that you're doing can still be a high level of difficulty, but it doesn't have to be hard. It's how you approach it. Because I remember when I used to run, and I used to tell my son this when I used to make him run, or I used to take my soldiers running, and I said, do the hard thing until the hard thing becomes the easy thing. Because if you do it enough and you prepare enough and you work at it appropriately, it's going to become easy, but it's how you approach it. So that difficult thing, the difficult task is running. If you want to go run 5 miles and do it in a certain amount of time, it's going to be difficult. But now if I don't train appropriately, if I don't approach it appropriately, it can be hard to do. But if I do it the way I need to do, the way that I can prepare to do it properly, it could be an easy task to manage or to achieve. The difficulty is still the same, but whether it's hard or easy, now that depends on you.
Yeah.
That depends on you.
Right. I agree, man. I agree. That preparation is everything, man. And when you telling that story, it makes me think about my son this past week. So I got a son in 3rd grade, but he's in 4th grade classes. So he does 4th grade work. And he brought math home. He needed some help with his homework. And he was just looking at it like, hey, this is hard. It ain't making sense. And I'm looking over his work. And I'm like, I don't know. I just started erasing all this stuff off the paper. He like, oh, Dad, you so disrespectful. You erase everything?
You just erase everything I just did?
Yeah, that's what he said. I'm like, yeah, I had to erase it all. I'm like, look, son, you gotta change how you're viewing this and change your way of thinking towards solving these problems. So instead of looking at it from this point of view, I started throwing other scenarios at him, simplifying it on how to think about it. And then from there, he was like, oh, you just made it way easier. He started nailing it. You know what I mean? But it was his approach and how he was thinking about it. It looked challenging, but the challenge became easier once he changed his thought process towards his approach towards it.
Exactly.
And that sometimes that can be it. That's the difference between a challenge being difficult and being easy is all starts here.
It's all there. Yeah. So like I used to have this moniker of like, man, life is hard. Life is hard. Life is hard. Things are hard. Things are hard. But you just choose your hard. No. Choose your approach and make it easy. Simplify things.
Yeah.
Like numbers can be big, but once you get those factors smaller and you simplify it, it becomes easy. It's because I changed my mindset. It changed how I decided to look at it. It changed how I decided to approach it. Now it makes it less hard. Still difficult. Things are still going to be difficult and still going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
But what's hard or what's not? You know what I'm saying? It depends on the individual.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree with you, man. Life ain't meant to, you're not meant to avoid challenges in life. Everybody's got challenges. I don't care how far up the totem pole you go or how low you are.
They're not going to look the same.
It won't look the same, but you're not going to be void of it. You're not going to escape this life. So when I say everything that could go right will go right, that don't necessarily mean that I'm going to escape life scot-free and never have to deal with a challenge, but I can make things go right while dealing with this challenge. I don't have to make it the toughest path.
So check this out. So on top of that, right? This reminded me of something else. So you spoke to my daughter a minute ago, right? And she's of adult age now. And I also had to shift the way I looked at this, right? Have you ever said this or heard somebody say this, man? We had it so much harder back then. Y'all got it so easy now, right? Y'all got it so easy. I don't understand why you can't do this and why you can't do that. You got say what?
We probably said it on this podcast every episode.
But check this out though. Like light bulb went off on me about a week ago or so. Yeah. It's like, yo, these kids these days, they got a challenge that's unique. Not necessarily unique, but unique to us, I guess, because as things shift down the line, it becomes different from how we see it, right? Historically, and I'm pretty sure somebody had probably said it about our generation as things have progressed. Technology progresses, and y'all got it so easy now. But also realizing that the easier things become, it becomes difficult to do what used to be normal. As we have more luxuries, right? More things that make it easy, it makes it harder to do what somebody used to do that was a hard thing to do. Or was their normalcy. Like their normal becomes our hard now, or our difficult rather. Like we got air fryers and microwaves, and we got stoves and ovens and all this stuff, these little gadgets that we can get things done like that. Pizza rolls we can throw in the air fryer or we can eat. We good. We got options, right? Yeah. We got options. But back in the day, before there was air fryers and microwaves, when it was a potbelly stove, and they had to get to it, they had to go hunt and bring home a rabbit. All right, we got dinner for the night, and that was just standard procedure.
You still had to go chop wood too, though.
So had to go chop wood,
the potbelly, right?
Yeah. And that was standard procedure. And we will look at, man, I had to cook this 5-course meal for Thanksgiving, this and that, or whatever, or a regular day. You go in your refrigerator like, I'm so tired, I don't feel like cooking today. You know what I'm saying? Or the air fryer broke. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? You take that person from back in the day, they look at you like, yo, what in the world? What you talking about? Like, we've had these luxuries, and these kids have these luxuries, and young adults have these luxuries that in our mindset, we think like, yo, like, you got it so easy, but we don't realize how much the easy thing makes that thing so difficult for that person in their reality, in their individual lives. Like, oh, y'all got this and this and that. But since you have those things and certain luxuries, you haven't had to exercise certain parts of being. So your difficult is different difficult from a different generation. So I had to take a step back and look at it and say, okay, stop being so hard, because the way they look at things as being difficult or a challenge it's not the same because they've had certain luxuries. So you have to be understanding because
They
now
lack a certain experience, so
they lack a
they don't
certain
have nothing to
experience.
fall back on.
Yeah, exactly. So the information is not there in order to be able to do certain things that for us would have been standard protocol, or for somebody 50 years would have been standard protocol, or 100 years been standard protocol. As things shift, what's difficult for us now wasn't difficult for them, but at the same time, we've been getting certain luxuries that makes it, oh, I haven't had to exercise that. I can just pick up a calculator and go boom, 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 and I'm good to go. I ain't got to sit there and work out these math problems outside of when kids were in school, right? So it's like we have certain things that make what is usually a normalcy a difficult thing.
Yeah, definitely. I get it. Yeah, they don't know life before.
Mm-hmm.
We underestimate knowing life before. Before this, life before that. Like the old story, I hope you don't mind me throwing you under the bus, but you text me one day when you was on your journey somewhere and you lost signal and you was like, woe is me. How am I gonna find my way? And I'm like, your phone GPS still showing on the screen? Yeah, but the GPS ain't connecting. I'm like, bro, read the map. You know, you was like, dang, I forgot. I do know how to read a map. Let me read the map and go on my way. Like, and it's like we have that to fall back on. But somebody without that experience is in deep crap. I can't tell them that. They're like, what you mean read the map? The map ain't talking to me no more. Like
the map ain't talking to me. Exactly.
Yeah, so
because I literally went to I literally went to a point of about to start panicking. Like, yo, my signal's out. My GPS ain't telling me where to go. Like, hold on, I'm in the middle of West Virginia in the mountains. I don't know what I'm about to do. Dog is about to crap for me. Like, dude, look at your map. Like, oh yeah, dang,
I can't do that.
Flaw to where you used to have to go to the gas station. If you didn't have a map on you, you go to the gas station, you look at the map real quick, fold it back up, put it on the shelf, get back in the car. Okay, I'm gonna take 35 and I'm gonna get on I-10, and then it's gonna tell me from here to here, boom, boom. That's how I'm getting from Virginia to Boston. You know what I mean? It's like
the good old days.
It out. But then, like you said, at the same time, those who haven't had to exercise that ever, they don't have that to fall back on.
They don't know life before.
Out, it's a wrap. But we come from that time. I remember my pops being in the car. We were driving across country, and he looking at the map trying to figure it out.
Yeah. You know, man, the good old days, man. I used to work for the cable company. I used to ride around with a book in the passenger seat, riding shotgun with me. Dang, let me go to page 48. Now page 48 got to go to page 60. Okay, that's where I'm at. Yeah, and then figuring your way out, like
your way out. Yeah.
Or the good old. I remember this was a convenience. This was beautiful when this hit. This looks like the most stupidest thing ever to a kid today. But I remember being at your apartment, not having internet in your apartment, going to the leasing office to go print off a MapQuest. And
I remember MapQuest. Yeah.
And that was heavenly because that was convenient. Like I ain't got to pull the whole map out and figure it.
I got 3 pages of paper that's gonna give me left and right directions.
Straight telling me, like all the way, each step along the way. I ain't got to figure the steps out. This is beautiful. That was brilliant.
I remember when MapQuest dropped. Like, yo, okay. You type in the address. You turn by turn directions. You take the little paper, you print it out. Take the little papers. You in your car. All right, okay. I turn right here. All right, okay. I'm not supposed to get to exit 172. I'm gonna do that. All right, bet. You just keep going. You ride out till you get to 172. Okay, next exit. All right, what's next?
Eliminated the map for us, and it was beautiful. But now it looks stupid if I told somebody I used to print this off. Yeah, I used to print the GPS off and ride around with. You did what? Why'd you do that? That was stupid. It didn't talk to me back in the day. I had to print it and put it on paper. But the world's different, man. The world's different. So
yeah, man.
It is beautiful to have those skills to fall back on. And yeah, I guess, in reality, it's unfair of us to look at young people. Judge
so in my mind,
not having those skills.
Have a little bit more patience. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah, that's not their world. It never was. Yeah, so
their world's not your world, and my world's not somebody else's before me's world. And they were probably looking at me like, "You stupid kid. What are you complaining for?"
Right, you got MapQuest. We didn't even have maps at that time. We had to go ask somebody in the gas station. Yeah,
you get. Hey, how do you get from me? You got to pull off on a random gas station, ask for directions.
Yeah, and hope the dude knew where you were going.
Looking for landmarks.
Right, looking for landmarks, man. So, yeah, man, that's cool stuff, man. That you came to that conclusion, though, man.
Yeah,
because we have been hard, and I've been guilty
just recently, like the fact that it did take me this long, and for my adult child to get to this point in life, for me to be like, I should probably take it a little easier, have a little bit better understanding, because they weren't equipped with the same things that we were equipped with. And I hate to call it handicapped or aided to their detriment, but at the same time, it's just their reality.
Yeah,
it's like our reality,
heavy reliance on technology.
Reality. Yeah.
Hey, and see, this is where it is a little unfair, is because we had more of an overlap with our parents than our children are going to have with us. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been such a shift in the last 10 to 15 years that the world didn't shift that much during from the 60s into when we became adults in the early 2000s. But from 2010 to now, it's such a huge change in the world that we more closely related to the people from the 60s than kids relate to us now. Yeah.
Because they don't know this on the TV.
Yeah, they don't know that. Our parents might be like, "Oh, you don't know black and white." Well, a few of us knew black and white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know black and white. I still had a black and white TV.
Yeah,
in my youth. You know what I'm saying? We still had the tick 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 in the antennas.
Yeah, 2 tick tick ticks if you had money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like two of those. One of the you can really hone in.
Yeah, if you was like that, the big TVs that was furniture with the little gates that you pull open and look inside the TV. There's some of those, man. All that's, but we had the overlap. If I showed if you showed a kid today like a joke about people with plastic on their furniture, they wouldn't even get it.
They wouldn't even get it. Why would you put plastic on your furniture? Like, who does that? Like, what is that? Like, what are you talking about?
What is that and why is that funny? You know what I'm saying? But the overlap is our parents would get that joke and we would get that joke because things were still kind of similar.
Now we're at that divide. Now we're at that divide like that we cross over the river. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where now we don't have that connect, and there's very little bridges that's going to connect one to the other.
Yeah, like our children, most of our kids ain't gonna get a cassette tape joke.
No. But we would, and our parents would. Yeah,
our parents would too. Yeah, we had that overlap. So hey, man. Yeah, take it easy on the youth, I guess, man.
Yeah, and you with younger children, you're gonna have a whole lot more understanding too.
I'm gonna have to, man. I'm gonna have to.
You know what I'm saying? But see, because y'all gap is bigger.
My gap is way huge, way bigger with my kids, and here's where I don't know if I'm misguiding them or not. I do try to bring them into my old world where I can, so they at least have an understanding. This is what life was like 20 years ago. It might not matter to you, but at least you won't be one of those kids where they show you a house phone and you like, what is that? Like, at least you'll know that's a phone. You know what I'm saying?
Like, why does it have like the little two things with the dial? Why does it look like that? Why does the phone look like that? Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. At some point in life, that is not going to be a representation of a phone. You won't even be able to have that as an emoji on your phone.
No,
to send somebody.
They need to get rid of it now.
Yeah, exactly.
The idea of saying hang up, stop saying it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody hangs up anything anymore. Like, why is that still the term for getting off the phone?
We're gonna have to change a lot of our terminology based on the technology.
Yeah.
Hang up the phone. Not hanging nothing. When you get off the phone, click off. What's the terminology?
I
In
don't
the phone
know.
call? That sounds too long.
It's stupid in the call. Like
In the call,
that's
call in.
that's what it is, but it's stupid. Like, and think about it. If you
Why'd you
ask
hang up on me? I didn't hang up on you. What are you talking about?
like, what does that even mean? Like, if you ask a millennial or dating going backwards the symbol for hanging up a phone is, they would do this. And
Yeah.
the young person, they would do this. You know what I mean? Like, this should win now.
Yeah.
This is it now. This should always win. Like, all of this, we gotta retire that stuff, man. That's old mentality, man. That's
Time to hang it up.
time to hang it up, literally, man.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like we're at a point to where a lot of things are about to shift. It's like even just how we refer to things, what's our representation of it, logos of certain things. Like it's just like whatever the world that we've known before. It's time to just go ahead, wipe it, start fresh. Start fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna know what actual money looks like anymore. You know what I'm saying? What's $100 bill? What is that? That's how you pay for money? What is this?
Yeah, what does this mean? What is all that? Yeah, we used to make it rain with that. That's what that means.
Yeah, we used to make it rain. Make it rain. I send the cash apps now. I'm gonna show close in the cash app. Hey, look, they probably do that now. Give a lap dance and hey, what's your cash? I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tip you on Cash App, and she watch over your shoulder.
I ain't been in one in a minute, but at the same time, I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure they got to be Zelle and Cash App.
It's a natural progression, man.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Even the homeless dudes on the street who begging for money. Hey, you need to have a Cash App account, homie.
Yeah.
Because I be feeling bad. Because I used to like to give money. But I'll never carry cash. So the panhandling game, got to be hurt. You need to have that. You need to have that barcode,
bro. I'm so foul. I use it as a scapegoat with the panhandle game. I could have cash on me. I'd be like, hey, bro, I ain't got no cash on me. Like,
and they gonna get you one day. Be like, hey, no, you ain't got to worry about it. Just go ahead and tap this. They're gonna have like one of those little squares. Go ahead and tap that.
Yeah. Nah,
what's your
excuse
excuse
I don't
now?
tap squares. I don't recognize, bro. I just have to start stepping your lives up, man. Hey, look, speaking of, man, back in the day, people would come up on me asking me for money. And if I could see somebody, I would get to the gas station. I'm getting ready to go inside. If somebody had that look like they looking for somebody to go ask, as soon as I see them, I'm like, hey, bro, you got $1 I can borrow? No, I ain't got nothing. I keep on walking. I would ask them. I beat them to it. As soon as I see they look like they about to ask,
hey, you got
$1 I can borrow? That started working, bro.
You won't ask me. He was asking me, so I know I can't ask him. I know he ain't got it.
Facts. That's how I would do them.
But hey, yo, look, check this out, man. Before we get to the reviews, because we about to get to the point of the reviews of the episode, I want to go ahead and display this. Where we at?
What you got there, man? What's that?
I went on a Placencia. I went on a Placencia run. I went ahead and stocked up on Placencias. So safe to say, I'm back. Of course, got the original. That's the boy. You can't really see it. But I noticed this, and I gotta ask you if you've had this one. I need to get the specs on it. I might have to pull it up real quick.
Okay.
Got a Sweet Jane in here too. It's a box press Sweet Jane, new band wrapper. Got to try that out. But of course, I got the Green Baby. That's guess where this is going? In my glass tube.
Yes, where should be.
But the 149 Conseca, you've had that one, right?
Yeah, I had that.
You've had the 149. I've had the 149 too. But at my shop today, I noticed a 151. Have you seen the 151?
Yeah, that's the only one I ever had. Hold on, what's the
149? 149.
Oh, I always get the 151. I don't even think
Oh,
I
you
seen a 149.
151. I've
Yeah.
never had the 151. I've only had the 149.
We've had different Coseca experiences, is what you're
Yes.
telling me?
So I didn't know there were two of them. I didn't know there were two different Consecas.
Ah.
I've only known the 149.
It's sounding familiar now that you keep saying 149, but I don't know if that's my mind playing tricks on me or not. But that do sound familiar. But
Yeah, maybe you need to see
151
them
is what
side
I
by
get.
side, but this one says the Conseca Privada. And I definitely don't ever remember seeing Conseca Privada.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Show me that band one more time.
Okay.
That's the 151. The 149. Show me the 49 because that's the one I'm.
Oh, I didn't pick up the
I'm
49 because I've had that before.
Oh,
I know I had that
okay.
before.
I got you.
So I went ahead and picked up the 51 because I didn't recognize it. I don't think I've ever had the 151.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to see if you've ever had it, if you've known the difference between the 149 and 151. So you've had one of them, but you haven't had the other.
151
You
without
only,
a
you
doubt.
only, you
That's
only
the one I
familiar with one.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember. It's like it sounds familiar now that you keep saying 149, but 151 is what I remember without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay. I couldn't remember which one you've had. I know I've only had the 149. So I am very curious to see what this experience is like. And did you have it on the show or did you have it off the show?
Probably off the show. I don't remember if I had it on the show, but I know I smoked the Coseca and I enjoy it. And when I rank it as one of the, where I put the Coseca, I had it like third, and then I said this one we had the Amatepe might have replaced it as third. So I was basing it off 151.
Okay.
Now I feel like obligated to go purposely look for a 49 to see if there's 49. A difference.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a comparison myself. Probably on my own time, so I can spend some time with it. Give it the full Placencia treatment. But I gotta delve into this 151 and see the difference between, like you said, the 151 and the 149. I need to know all the ins and outs about Placencia. Placencia has got me locked in, got me in the chokehold, as the young folks say. Yeah. And I gotta go down this road. So 151, probably gonna smoke it tonight. I gotta get this Drew Estate off my palate, which we'll talk about.
Come on, man, you ain't gonna finish the Drew Estate off?
I mean, I might. It might be for the morning.
Nah, bro, you gotta don't save it for a morning smoke in your nightcap. End of the night.
In my night with it. I gotta end it with a Placencia, man.
Your stomach gonna hurt if you end your night with it.
I got to. But hey, man, let's talk about it, man. Let's get into these reviews, man.
Where you want to go? What order you want? You want to go first or second?
I'll go ahead and go first because my review is not going to be that overwhelming at all. So I'll just go ahead and get it out the way. So FSL, the Mystery Deadwood. I'm curious to see how they're going to brand this, what the name of it is going to be, and how they're going to roll it out. Too sweet for me. Even into this point of the stick. Took forever for those natural tobacco flavors to come to the forefront. It stayed back behind that sweet wrapper for the majority of my time smoking it. That's what I need. I need a water. I need a water. It just felt like just a Jolly Rancher. I'm smoking a Jolly Rancher. Just a long Jolly Rancher. This is all this is, right? That's what it feels like to me. Didn't get too much tobacco flavors. I didn't get too much of anything else that I would love to see, like some pecan, some walnut, some acorn type of scent. I didn't get much of anything that I really clamor for when it comes to cigars. Now, if I want to give it to a novice who they just want to have something to smoke, a Swisher Sweet type of deal, they just need something to look cool with and smoke. Here, take this. So the other two cigars I have, probably gonna give them away. I'm probably going to give them away. I'm going to be honest. I'm probably not going to go back and smoke these. So how they rank with the other Deadwoods? Girl with No Name. I don't know if you smoked yours just yet. Yeah. Top of my list. Fat Bottom Betty, and then Sweet Jane. Sweet Jane being one of the sweeter ones. But this falls all. I would even put Crazy Alice above this one. Give me Crazy Alice before you give me this. Not a big fan of it. Smoked pretty well, constructed decently, other than the chop at the very beginning. I think that's just the way the cigar was probably kept in the gift box or whatever.
Oh, the gift box.
So it wasn't necessarily exposed to the humidity like normal. Like it was wrapped up, and then it was in the collection box, and it probably just didn't hold well. Like as far as like the wrapper and it kind of peeling on me there. But even if they roll this out, I'm curious to see how they will roll it out. I'm going to be paying attention to it, and I would recommend it for some, right? It would, but not for those smokers who are seasoned. For the flavored Deadwood cigar that I would recommend for a seasoned smoker who's an aficionado and they love the smoke a regular, nice, good tobacco smoke, but then they want some flavor, I'm going to tell them to go smoke the girl with no name. I'm hot about that one. I love it. But this FSL was a miss for me. So, to give it a score out of 5, I'm going to give this FSL, and I apologize, Drew Estate, because I love y'all, give it a 2.7.
2.7. All right.
Sweet.
Cool. I'm glad you went in the 2s.
Heard who?
I'm glad you didn't give him an honorary 3 just because. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you.
No, not just off the name.
3 is the halfway mark. You know what I'm saying?
Drew Estate.
Yeah, that would have just been dead average. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so. above 2.5 because it was, you know what I'm saying? It smoked well. Like it did just make me like want to just put it out. It did smoke okay. It smoked well, but it's just not what I like.
Okay, so for me, I got this Diesel Whiskey Row Founders Collection Mizunara, and for me, I actually don't have a whole lot to say about it. I'll give my key points. I'll get into the tasting notes. The tasting notes, like I said, it was heavy on oak. It had some pepper that did kind of stay with it. You know, it was very subtle, sweet note that kind of popped in there briefly. And overall, a lot of oak and natural tobacco flavor is what I got from it. I didn't get a lot more than that. This is where I got into the stick at. Now, it had a good draw on it. It stayed burning all the way until right here at the end. So it did pretty good as far as that goes. I would say that it had a medium, maybe a medium to full body to it, you know. Downside to this is, aside from the fact I didn't quite get enough tasting notes, I would have liked a little more variety on that. I would say the downside is this right here. This is a misleading burn. It looks like a nice even burn. I did not get a nice even burn throughout it. Throughout several times, there was the construction looks like it might not have been the greatest because there were several times where it was just very uneven throughout it. And I did clean up the unevenness of it occasionally with a match, but I didn't like that, you know, because I always keep a good burn. So the fact that I had a bad burn going throughout most of this, I felt like, you know, this is poorly constructed to lead to that. So I'm gonna definitely the score is gonna be affected by that. So I would say this is gonna reach the 3s for me. I feel like a 3.4 is appropriate for it. I was close to giving it a 3.5. If the construction would have been a little better, it probably could have got even up to a 3.6. But I'm really gonna dock it for the construction of it and the lack of flavors. Yeah, which 3.4 is why I'm gonna settle at.
Man,
for that reason.
We smoked mid this week.
I was above average. You smoked mid. if you average our score together, we were average.
Yeah,
we smoked mid if you do an average of our scores. But yeah.
All right. Well, my opinion, very underwhelming smokes for myself, and I guess a little bit better than underwhelming for you.
Yeah. Well, look at it this way: when we have these ones that are very oaky and very almost like what was the what's the one that you talk about, the soldier one all the time, the
Man of War?
The Man of War. What's that note you always use? Because I'm missing the words.
Like what I usually say, not necessarily barbecue, but
Yeah, that's the tone of this cigar. And when you get into those that type tone, it doesn't they don't hit fours very often. But for either one of them,
they don't.
You know what I'm saying?
So it is hard to achieve. Yeah.
Yeah, so this would have capped out at around a 3.7 anyway if they'd have did it right. You know what I'm saying? So the fact they got a 3.4, it's about right. You know what I'm saying?
It's decent for that flavor profile.
For that
profile, particular flavor profile is decent. It's decent.
In my world, they cap out on the fours every time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's understandable. But all right, man.
Hey, man, that's this week's episode of Cigars and Everything Else, bro. Yeah. I ain't mad at you. Anyway, man, we up out of here. Keep your sticks up high.
Yes, sir.
Until next time.